Dragons: The Nine Realms Season 5 is releasing on March 2nd, just 3.5 months after the last season, which would you believe is the second longest gap in between seasons, second only to the release of 1 and 2. The trailer for this season is unfortunately, or rather gratefully, only 1 minute long, but in my opinion holds some of the greatest potential. There's still tons to dive into, and right before we start, I want to let you know that I have a Patreon with a bunch of cool work in progress and credit stuff, but for each of my videos I'll be posting Patreon exclusive sites like scripts, thumbnail processors, etc. And for this one it'll include all of that plus the full uncut first reaction and thoughts that I had about the trailer. But with all that out of the way, I really hope you enjoy my analysis. The trailer starts with the riders in the ice realm and Tom is as obnoxious as ever.
Dragon Riders are back, baby!
Can't wait. And likely in the first episode they find an opening in the ground. Again, that leads to another realm. The logic behind these realms just keeps getting better and better, I tell you what. We get a cool look into what the forest realm looks like, and this is where I think the most potential comes through. It feels a lot darker than the bright yellows, blues, reds and whites of the other realms, and has a dark foresty green colour scheme. Real shocker for the forest realm. These plants I think are a super cool concept. They appear to be carnivorous and almost act in a collective group. When closed they have the resemblance of tulips, which often symbolises love, as do a lot of flowers, but also rebirth. So there's some luring in with safety before they suddenly lunge out to strike. I doubt this was intentional, but here we are. They don't seem to move as they look pretty rooted, because they're plants, get it? Yeah. But they have long-reaching vines that act like snakes, and resemble them in colour and pattern to grab and secure prey. They also manage to make a hissing sound. I'm also hoping this situation with Feathers isn't a repeat of the last season when her and Webmaster got trapped by that snow yeti. 2 snowtails are seen running away from something, probably the kids, because who wouldn't? The ugliest rip-off of the baby dragon models from the How to Train Your Dragon 2 movie. We're introduced to a new dragon that swings from trees using its tail and steals bags from children. The next shot is one of my absolute favourites, genuinely. It feels so dense with objects, making it seem natural. It's an organic, vibrant green, not the fake green seen at Icarus, and the lighting and shadows look great. The hobgoblin makes a dashing reappearance, followed by our favoritist Magmachonka still wanting to eat D'Angelo. We're really gonna go 4 for 4 here. Olivia is getting a ride on Thunder through the fissure, although I think it would be funny if she fell off, so let's see if that happens. Seeing Ploughorn and Feathers carrying together seems quite similar to Webmaster and Feathers, so again, I hope it's not a trashy remaster of that. A shot of Tom, Thunder and Olivia all in their dome is up next, and this is guaranteed episode 1, and some pretty good expressions. And speaking of, expressions are actually something I thought this trailer excelled in. Buzzsaw is back again, still trapping people in ice cages. Everyone but Tom because plot progression. And now we get to see Leonard in his final form. Ezra Miller. Oh yeah, and he's trained, quote-unquote, some fire jackals. Eugene gets paralyzed, shame it wasn't June, and permanent, but not a bad joke overall if the pacing's okay. The next shot is super interesting and leads me to believe that we will unfortunately not be spending as much time in the new forest realm as I'd hoped. Outside of the fissure in the Icarus project area, it is covered in frost crystallizing over almost every surface, including the trees high up in the background. Nice attention to detail. Whatever caused such an event is surely a big one, and one that will likely get cool screen time and proper development. But heyo, when Tom scratches his head or hair, it moves, so +1 point to DreamWorks there. The race-changing brothers have finally made their return. I'm so happy about this. And I know they're trying to set it up like the kids are angry that they're stealing these eggs or whatever else they're doing with them, but it's the biggest bait and switch I've ever seen. These guys hated Buzzsaw and owe Icarus their lives, so they're hardly going to get into a conflict with the children that have fire-breathing war machines. This scene is also followed by this type, so interpret that how you will, but I think it's pretty obvious everyone will come together to do something. I'm getting to it, don't worry. Another awesome shot from the forest floor. You get why I think this has so much potential, right? This could be some Race to the Edge level exploration. Although, notice this ice realm looking snowy peak in the background? Not sure how relevant they'll be, but perhaps worth noting. Back in Icarus, outside on the windows the frost has crept in, and I'm not sure why, but this fire extinguisher really caught my attention. So I did some research, and based on the average fridge height and regulations regarding the placement of extinguishers, this bad boy mounted to this cabinet so high is a borderline no-no.
We're talking about life and death.
And no Wi-Fi. Life and death.
Alex is the bestest girl. Again, really good expressions, particularly in June actually, and the cold and warm light casted over her face. The parents are clearly somewhere else trying to figure out what happened or something, hence the walkie-talkie, and Olivia is most likely trying to convince them it's nothing because she knows it's a dragon. And I bet there'll be a whole plot line about Wilma trying to figure out why Olivia isn't turning up for work as regularly or something and where she's going. So that'll be super interesting. And this is the part I was referencing from before where they all get together to become bestest buds. And you just know we're never gonna hear about this dragon until like season 5 or 6 when they need it for something else. Did I or did I not call this stupid dragon coming back in season 5? I'm so happy that I got this right. But why is this weird ice plane so empty? This shot of all of them firing together appears to be outside Buzzsaw's camp. Can't wait to see that thrilling fight. If it's anything like the other season finales, if this even is the season finale, then get ready for a snooze fest. I'll let you assess these how you will, because I don't even know. All I can say is that in this short clip, it is an absolute shit mix. We got the Magma Chonker and Plowhorn trying to kill each other, or D'Angelo, which I'd be cool with. 4 Snowtails, Wu and Wei in a disagreement, and Feathers and a terrible terror running into the chaos. Right, potential time. This new dragon looks kinda sick. I don't like how they've made the scenes that they have shown in with so childish, but I like the dragon and it's in the forest realm, so that's a plus. It also appears to be blind, which is cool, but it feels like they're leaning pretty hard on the Fault Ripper, which sucks in all honesty. This giant nest is arguably the most model dense and complex thing we've seen across all the seasons so far, and those eggs that the brothers had before have obviously come from here. I'm probably reading too much into this and giving them too much credit, but hey, that's this entire video. But the purple in the background contrasts with the growth and life of the green surroundings as a symbol of corruption and maybe a vital factor in this season or in future ones. This is where it gets childish and the visual effects take a dip. What is this liquid and why can I still count the number of vertices on this rock looking thing? I've been able to do this since season 1. The idea that this dragon's attack or trap his leaves I think is a creative way of camouflage, and we get a nice look at the dragon's head properly. It has a snout like a crocodile or alligator, and some different coloration on the underside with some detail spikes. It's one of the first dragon designs I actually kinda like from the 9 Realms, but we'll see if it stays that way when we see the rest of its body. Like I mentioned before, I believe it to be blind, so the natural adaptation of this creature is to have accelerated hearing and sense of smell. So why are these dumb kids crouched over there laughing as Eugene is literally about to die? Oh wait, that's right, because they don't go to school, even though we're told that they were. This show. And that's all. I told you it was short. But where does this leave us in terms of the season? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, the season is planned to release on March 2nd, so we have a month. And I'm also insane at guessing future events apparently too, but that's besides the point. Until like season 5 or 6 when they need it for something else. I fully believe that based solely off this trailer alone, this season has the most potential, with a genuinely awesome looking environment and feel. However, I am most concerned about them relying too much on remastering scenes or episodes from previous seasons, and also how childish the show remains, which don't get me wrong is fine, but as I've discussed in previous videos for the 9 Realms, I believe that they don't even know who their audience is. Something can still be entertaining for children while being engaging and mature enough for older audiences. Not everything has to be dumbed down to the most one-dimensional characters I've ever seen. I'm very aware that it would be quite difficult at this point, but I implore for them to take their time with a few specific things that can be developed properly, rather than rushing through multiple ones just for the sake of faster progression. But let me know what you think, and don't forget that if you're interested, my first thoughts and reaction to the trailer can be found on Patreon. No! It's back! Okay, Buzzsaw looks really weird. He kinda looks like Ezra Miller. They'll probably introduce the Sky Torture in like episode 5 or maybe 4, along with a bunch of other stuff from the last video, this video, and tons of stuff to come in the future. Leaving a like and subscribing also means the world to me, so please consider that too if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks again to these incredible people for going above and beyond in supporting me. I really hope you enjoyed, and I seriously cannot wait to see you in the next video. Have a good one.